Baweeb Grana Weeb Ninny Bong, I'm Engineer Hoist, and these are my favorite Transformers that I added to my collection in 2021. First up, some honorable mentions. Energon Rodimus Convoy. One of the few figures on my TFCon list that I actually found. I love the concept of Rodimus as a racing truck complete with spoiler. Kingdom Rodimus Prime. The figure itself is fantastic, but it's only an honorable mention due to the price. I mean, the trailer is cool and all, but 90 bucks is pretty steep. Studio Series 86 Wreck-Gar. We've gotten some pretty good Wreck-Gar figures in the past, but this one is the definitive Wreck-Gar for any collection. Studio Series 86 Gnaw. This pudgy little guy looks like he stepped right out of the 86 movie and into our hearts. He's so good I couldn't resist picking up a few for my Sharkticon core. Studio Series 86 Grimlock and Slug. Any other year these guys would have been in the top 10. A common theme amongst the Studio Series 86 lines, they look the part in both bot and alt mode. I can't wait for the rest of the Dinobots. New Age Octavian, aka Ultra Magnus. As good as the full armored Ultra Magnus is, I'm really impressed by the inner White Optimus. Not only is it a fun callback to the G1 toy, but it's one of the best Optimus Prime style figures I've seen. Mechanic Studios Steel Ambition, aka Astrotrain. I was hoping to find a different third-party Astrotrain at TFCon, but this little guy was a fabulous consolation prize. Well, on to the list. Kingdom Arc and Teletraan-I / Mainframe. At long last, we finally have a figure of the Autobot Arc. And it's Titan class, and it transforms. I never thought we'd ever see a figure like this until I saw that Kingdom promo and spotted this guy in the background. Even better, it came with a figure of Teletraan-I that transforms as well. Definitely a must-have. New Age Hephaestus, aka Devastator. I was sleeping on this set until seeing some reviews and getting some encouragement from my friends. I ended up picking up the set from TFCon and I love it. I'm not usually a fan of having a separate combiner piece that serves no other purpose than combine modes, but I think it's fine for this because it allows the individual Constructicons to have nearly perfect individual bot and alt modes. Buzzworthy Bumblebee, Origins Bumblebee. It took decades, but we finally have a Bumblebee figure that sports his original Cybertronian alt mode from the very first episode of the Generation 1 series. Not only that, but it's a really great little figure too. It has a near perfect alt mode and that classic Bumblebee bot mode look that we all love. Mastermind Creations Mentis, aka Rung. Years have passed collecting all of the IDW-inspired figures in the MMC reformatted line, and all that time I've been hoping for a version of Rung. That little Target Master that Hasbro put out just wasn't cutting it. I'm very happy to have added the Lost Lights Resident Counselor to my collection. Studio Series 86 Jazz. Growing up, Jazz was my favorite character the first 2 seasons of G1. We got a pretty nice version of him a couple of years ago in the Reveal the Shield line, and I'd have been happy if that was it, but this Studio Series 86 version of him blows even that one away. Just absolutely perfect bot and alt modes, and throwing on his Toy Hack set just makes it even better. Studio Series 86 Hot Rod. If you've been watching my channel for any length of time, you know that Hot Rod is my favorite character and has been since I first saw him in 1986. Hot Rod figures over the years have been pretty hit or miss, but this Studio Series 86 figure is definitely a hit. He's absolutely perfect in nearly every way. Pretty much the only knock against him is being a deluxe class figure that was released as a Voyager class. Even so, there was no doubt in my mind that he'd be a part of my collection. Kingdom Cyclonus. Cyclonus was one of the first figures in the Kingdom toy line and he remains one of the best. He looks the part in both bot and alt modes, and he's fun to transform. Personally, I believe he was meant for the Studio Series 86 line, but somehow ended up in Kingdom packaging. Regardless, he's the perfect Cyclonus for any collection. Beast Wars, Magnaboss, and Tripredacus. When we started building these two in Transformers Earth Wars, I wasn't very familiar with them, but I wasn't going another Combiner saga without having the toys. Luckily, I found them complete and in great condition, and I'm so happy to have them as part of my collection since they're such unique combiners. Fans Toys Thomas, aka Astrotrain. I'm a sucker for any bot with the Space Shuttle alt mode, and that has helped make Astrotrain my favorite Decepticon. When I first saw this figure revealed back at TFCon 2019, I knew I had to get it, but somehow I missed out on the pre-orders of the original release. I've been keeping my eyes out for when he popped back up. I'm not real happy about having to pay the late tax to get him, but I'm grateful that I did because he's a super solid figure. He looks great in all three modes, and the transformation's not even that bad. At least not for a third-party Masterpiece version. ASLab Unicron. The Chaos Bringer is a once-in-a-generation, if not once-in-a-lifetime figure. Luckily, I was able to afford to back the project and bring him home. By far the largest official Transformer, he is an amazing presence in anyone's collection. Sure, he's a shell former, and his shell pieces don't hide that well in bot mode, but despite all of his flaws, there's no way he wasn't going to take the #1 spot in my countdown. Well, that's the list. I hope you enjoyed it. What were your favorite bots of 2021? Let me know down in the comments. I'm Engineer Hoist. Keep rolling, my friends, and we'll see you next time.